Hello, good people. It's 10-minute Tuesday time. Today's subject is visualization and affirmation. I have recorded a 10-minute Tuesday about this subject some time ago, maybe a couple of years. No, it couldn't be that long, maybe 18 months ago. But it's a subject that I see people experience a bit of pain in, because it's like the personal development industry is pretty lightweight and fluffy. And so there's lots of really weird versions of these two technologies being used. I like the word technologies for them because I think that's what they are. They're just wonderful programming tools. However, most people, despite boo-hooing the power of visualizations and affirmations, are already well versed at using them. They don't even know that they're using them, and worse, they're using them against themselves. That's right, folks. Most people, and try this on, most people are using visualization and affirmation against their own goals. So they're using this technology to create results that they don't want. So, look, there are lots of things that we don't control in life. That's no surprise. However, people consistently underestimate how much power we have to control certain things as human beings. We are ridiculously powerful. And the way that things get created in our life, this is Stephen Covey's great observation, is that everything is created twice. Everything. Every single thing has a first creation in the unseen world, either by design or by default. And the second creation is just a physical manifestation of what has already been created. So picturing stuff in your mind and speaking words out loud are how this first creation work gets done. There's a great book by Shad Helmstetter called What to Say When You're Talking to Yourself. And he uses the metaphor of the relationship to describe the relationship between your conscious and your unconscious as it's like the captain of the ship speaking to the engine room worker. Excuse me. So the captain can see where he's going, knows where he wants to go, gives instructions, 5 degrees starboard, full steam ahead, whatever, down the line to the engine room worker who can't see but just follows instructions. And so typically people are giving instructions without even knowing. They're saying things like, I'm just not great with money. I really struggle making friends. I've just always been unhealthy. Yeah, I'm not a very confident person. So that's like giving those instructions over the loudspeaker to the unconscious, the engine room worker, who then goes and works out how to be terrible at money, how to be a social retard, how to struggle and fail, because that's exactly the destination you've programmed. And then lo and behold, you wonder why you end up where you don't want to be. That's the instruction you've given. That's what you've created. The same thing is true in visualization. So people spend a lot of time meditating on what they don't want. They focus on results that they're afraid of. Wouldn't it be terrible if this were to happen? Gee, I would hate to fail in this area. What if that person stops like me? What if this thing doesn't work out? And they spend a lot of time picturing that result happening. And there's an interesting distinction around this, which I would like to make really explicit. So it's not, visualization is not just having an imagination, not having an idea pop into your head. That's not visualization. That doesn't really do anything because otherwise, who knows, all kinds of the crazy stuff would be creating every moment because our imagination is running wild a lot of the time. Visualization as a creative technique and creative technology is when you see it and feel it. So there's this resonance that what you are seeing is real. So like it's a great patterning of people who have achieved amazing things. When interviewed after having achieved them, they'll often say, I saw this a long time ago. I knew this was true for me. I knew one day I would be here. I've pictured this. I've rehearsed this moment. I've seen it in my mind. And it's not just that they've seen it. It's that when they've seen it from afar, they have seen it with such power and such acknowledgement of the desire around it that every cell in their body has resonated with the truth of that picture. There are powerful things being created there. I tell people all the time that this house that we've just moved into wasn't created in the last 12 months. It was created at least 20 years ago. And when my wife and I were first married, we talked about the life we wanted for ourselves and the future we wanted. We'd both grown up on farms. Space was important to us. So we said we wanted a house 5 minutes from town on 20 acres. And we pictured it. My wife specifically could picture the kind of house it would be, this Victorian style home. But that was something that we both agreed on. We both resonated with that picture. And so lo and behold, here we are 20 years later. And we knew that would happen. We knew with certainty that this reality would eventuate. So the important distinction is, if you can see it and feel it, then you can have it. That's the visualization piece. So just notice the things that you don't want in your life and just review the amount of time you've spent seeing and feeling those realities. And lo and behold, that's what's happening. So ultimately, if you were to do better first creation work and see and feel the things that you really want, well, that would be what you'd be creating in terms of results for your future. Affirmation is the same. If you can say it and agree with it, you can have it. So just having self-talk doesn't create anything. You may have heard me talk before about Don Miguel Ruiz's work around the book, The Four Agreements. That changed my life. That was such a beautiful book. But his distinction was, it's not the words spoken to us, about us, or by us that change our life, just the ones we agree with. That's powerful. So you can say all kinds of horrible things to yourself as a bit of self-talk and it have no power. But if you say things to yourself and then you go, that's true, I am stupid, I am fat, I am ugly, I am a loser, you agree, then you own that truth and you are doing first creation work. You are programming your future. You are giving an instruction to the destination that you are heading. And lo and behold, that is all that you can experience into your future. So if you want different results, it's about the process of being clear about what those results are that you want, and then speaking them to yourself and about yourself, but not just speaking them until you agree with them. So part of my morning rituals revolves me walking in circles on my water tank. I'm sure my neighbors think I'm a little bit crazy, but I think you've got to be a bit crazy. My kids, my dog think there's a few screws loose. But nevertheless, my ritual is to be clear about what I want and then to practice seeing it and speaking it. But I don't exit that tank, those laps, until I can feel it, until I've made agreements with it. And I know that I've made agreements and I know that that's become true because it resonates. There's this thing, yes, that is true. Yes, that is where I'm heading. Yes, that is real for me. And I say it before anyone else has said it or anyone else would have given me permission to go there. But I've given myself permission for that to be the future. And lo and behold, things then are created in my life because that's the destination I've programmed for myself. So whether you think you like this technology or not doesn't really matter. The reality is you've already used it to great effect. And likely, if you haven't had conscious awareness of how you've been using the visualization affirmation technology, it's likely you've been using it against yourself. So there's an opportunity to stop that today, an opportunity to go, okay, this is powerful. I am a powerful human being. I have extraordinary capacity for creation. That is what it means to be a human being. Every day we are creating things that have never existed before. So to own that fact and to use that force for good in your life, to be clear about what you want, and then to spend time picturing it until you can feel it and speaking it until you agree with it. I hope that's useful. I'll talk to you again next Tuesday.